You were just like all over YouTube and doing that before anyone was doing it.
I remember my agent that always supported me in everything. That was the first time he was like, I don't know, this is a good idea. You're working with Vogue and this is really not cool, YouTube.
Our industry typically has been like so snobby, like not embracing social media. So when did you first think about being a makeup artist?
I was really lucky to grow up in an artistic environment because it opened my mind to getting inspired from very different sources. My icon was Lara Croft. I was like, she's the coolest.
Oh, really? For real? Oh my God, that's hilarious.
I remember the stylist telling me, you should look more humble.
We all got into this because we love dressing up and playing Barbies. Like, why are you all of a sudden acting like you're not into it? Like, if you're over it, get out of it. Okay, first of all, like, I'm dying that I am talking to you right now.
Oh, why? I'm so excited to talk with you.
I mean, I'm just like a huge fan of yours. And, I met your husband, now husband, Steven, a long time ago. And he's like, yeah, you got to like work with my girl, Violette. She's really good. And I'm like, oh, who is she? Who?" And then obviously I checked you out. And I think I tried to get you to be on like a million shoots and you were always busy, which is totally fine. You were major or you are major. And then he's like, "Yeah, she's, like, doing this YouTube thing." And you were just, like, all over YouTube and doing that before anyone was doing it.
I mean, no, there was amazing fashion industry makeup artists doing it. It was just I'm trying to think extremely like
I'll just say, like, no one cool in our business was doing it, and that's okay if I say that. I mean, I feel like this show is, like, kinda insidery, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not just I'm in the business with you, so I feel like what I say, you don't have to agree with or not agree with, but and it's, like, cool or not cool, but, our industry typically has been, like, so snobby, like, not embracing, social media, and you were really one of the first people who were cool, who were doing cool editorial makeup, and you were doing YouTube. And I was like, "Whoa, and it was like, I mean, I don't even know what years this like 2013 or something,
yeah, it was it wasn't I moved 2016.
2012 maybe,
Yeah, I
like,
moved
or 14 or
2016, so I
15?
think it must have been like 2017. But yeah, it was
It was early.
I remember my agent that always supported me in everything because I'm very stubborn. So when I decide to do something, I'll do it. And he's always very supportive. But that was the first time he was like, I don't know, this is a good idea because you just finally made it in the US. You're working with Vogue and stuff. And this is really not cool, YouTube. And I was like, well, it was visceral. Like, I have to do it because I spend 2 hours a day on Instagram responding to people who I post my
Wow.
editorials. It's your portfolio. Instagram,
Yeah.
that was my portfolio. And people that were not from the industry asking me, how you do this, how you do that. And so I was like replying for 2 hours a day because you know how you're so isolated in the fashion industry? Like it's me, myself, and I creating these looks for a magazine, but you never get to meet the readers.
1,000,000%.
Finally, I had a connection with the readers in a way.
Mhm.
And it gave so much dimension to my work that I adore doing
Mhm.
it, but I felt like I was not really helping them that much with just texting how to do it. So I was looking for other content on YouTube. I was like, oh my gosh, it's always like white background. That's not how I do my makeup. I do makeup in the car using my fingers. So my best friend was there and visiting from France, and he's an actor, and he was with his friend as a director. I was like, can you just grab your camera and film me in the car doing my makeup? Let's go have a drink somewhere and then we'll shoot it. And so
I
that's
love
how we
that.
started.
Okay, let me start out from the beginning because obviously I love that as the beginning because, you have to have like the reason I invited you on the show is because you have to really have a lot of inner mojo to not only create a business, but I know I'm from California. This is like
I
style your
used
vibe.
it from before even I spoke English, Mojo. So
Oh, really?
yeah,
Oh,
that's why
excellent.
I love that you use this because it means a lot to me. So
Right. Well, okay. So this is why I had you on. It's so hard to start from the beginning, um, but I'll get there because I can tell you have mojo. Do you know? I can tell you have like a super big soul. You're a soulful person. I've seen, I get all your emails and all the letters, and I got to know you, I guess from that. And before I'd known that you were this cool editorial makeup artist, and then you did YouTube. And it's just interesting how all these things go together. But I definitely felt like you had a good vibe and really and a lot of positivity. So that's why I'm not only interested in talking to you as far as a makeup, entrepreneur, but you as a person. So let's get into it. Uh, Violette, as you know, as we've spoken about, has been a very um, popular and experienced magazine editorial makeup artist who then started doing YouTube videos. And I think everyone realized that the face behind this the face was amazing, the voice was amazing, the teeth were amazing, the hair, the face, it's like, how could you not look at this woman? And then you were the creative director of Guerlain? Is that what the trajectory was, like, in
First,
your
well, I did makeup designer for Dior, which is this on a junior
okay,
role. I was really young. Then I did global beauty director at Lauder, and then Guerlain.
okay, oh, okay. And then you started your makeup line, Violette FR, and we all, know what that was. We're gonna go into all the details later. I wanted to, I did wanna ask you about your career journey, and we've gone over a couple of the latest things, but, like, tell me about you getting started, and, like, what was it like for you, like, growing up? Were I always like beauty, blah, blah, like, a little bit of your trajectory, and now that we've established that you have mojo and you're high vibe, like, just tell me about you as a person. It's like I like to ask people to describe their career journey, but sort of their personal journey too as they get into it, because our business is not like being a doctor or a
Yeah.
lawyer. It's like you have to bite and scratch and claw, or if you're not literally doing that, you're figuratively doing that. And I think that the confidence that all of us need to have, the drive, the persistence is like, where does that come from? Everybody has a different journey of how they got to this, but tell me a little bit about you and yours.
I think that's why I think it's so important the way you are um fed intellectually as a little kid. I grew up watching um like black and white movies, and I was a fan of Jean Cocteau. Beauty and the Beast from 1945 was like I probably watched this movie millions of times as a kid.
Wow.
My grandmother was a had a bookstore, a librarian, you call this. She
Yeah.
would like write me letters really often for us to talk about books and stuff. I was really lucky to grow up in an artistic environment because it opened my mind to getting inspired from very different sources. And that's why for my kids, I think Steven has that, my husband that has too, because when our kids want to watch these YouTube videos about like unpacking present, and I'm not judging anybody that's doing it. It's just that screen time is so limited for us that I want to make sure what can you watch that will really impact you in the future in some good way, because I think that's how I grew up. So that that opened an incredible imagination, I think.
Mhm.
And I was a very creative kid. Just, I wouldn't say shy. I would say more little, I don't know if you can say that in English, like a bit wild. Like, I was really happy on my own, doing my
Mhm.
stuff. But then I would create a connection with other kids with thanks to art or like painting. I was obsessed with that. So I think it
Wow.
became my way of expressing myself from a very young age. And I had like a lot of people a challenging childhood, and I think I wanted to empower myself by thinking that I'm free and I can make my dream come true if I work really hard. That I'm not passive in my own existence, that I'm not the object of people vision of me or whatever. So it made me quite rebellious, but also
Wow.
willing and focused and, decided. I'm also in Aries, so I'm like,
Oh, cool.
go.
Happy early birthday. It was major Aries, like major in the planets right now.
Yes, yes.
Are you into all that?
Yeah, absolutely, and, I definitely felt it.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So, it kind of create I decided to create my own path and really focused on, well, if this is my life, I'm gonna kind of create the path that I feel is right for me. And there's
Wow.
no mistake. If it doesn't work, that will just help me go in the direction that I think will work. So it's just guidance. So yeah, it may
Wow. That's a lot to have that inner drive. I guess, yeah, being an Aries is kind of fiery, right? They're pretty they can do what they want, they're headstrong.
Yeah.
And when you said rebellious, like, did you go to clubs or whatever? I
Yes.
don't know. I don't know what
At 15, I was stealing my mother's t-shirt from Jean-Paul Gaultier that were like sheer with
Nice.
written like tattoos. I don't know if you remember that era where you
Oh, yeah, I do.
tattoo
Oh, yeah.
like t-shirt
Uh-huh.
tattoos. I
Mhm.
had red lipstick on, leather pants, and I was not allowed to go out
I
at
love
that
it.
age, obviously, and I will go out, sneaking out, and go to the Queen Club, which was a gay club,
Uh-huh.
um, with disco music on Monday night, so I had school the
Uh,
next day. So
nice.
yeah, I did all that. I was never into drugs or anything um more toxic, I would say, for my health, but it's more about going out was my thing, and that's why we always use a mojo with my best friend at the time to say like we're chasing the mojo. That's what we wanted.
Right.
And there was this electronic French music that was called mojo, I think. No,
Oh, really? For real? Oh my god, that's hilarious.
there was an American one, I think, and a French one. I have to find them again because they like designed my teenage years, So yeah.
Oh, I love that. A lot of people I know, I mean, I'm a little older than you, but a lot of people I know like went to clubs and stuff when they were young. I was going to clubs when I was like 16. I mean, I guess in America, it's, like, a little bit more rebellious to do that at such a young age, but, and music was always, like, a
Yeah.
huge part of my lexicon, like, even now with stories, so much of it has to go back, to music and music references, obviously, art for you and for all of us, but I feel like that is something that is I find a lot of people share in our industry, just from, like, a cultural standpoint of view and fashion and just every culture and just being into it, but it's interesting you say mojo, because that sounds like it's kinda like it has, like, energy, but we all get energy, we used to dance back then, like, um,
Yeah, that was really
so
nice.
so I love the fact that you watch all these movies too, it's pretty extraordinary for a young person to look at, Cocteau and all these other, like, things, movies and things like that. Did you feel like you were the only one doing that out of your friends, like, learning the things that you did?
No, it's funny. I think it was just a different time, and we used to write each other letters when we went on vacation. We had no phone, or we would leave each other like a long voicemail on our house phone, and reading was our way of escaping on vacation with our parents. So I think
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
the
totally.
I never realized that that was maybe not typical my age. Those things, like, I was also a huge fan of Beethoven. I'm still a huge fan of Beethoven since I was a little
Wow.
kid, because I mean he composes music without hearing the sound, which I thought was like absolutely incredible, and his music really touched my soul, and so I never thought about it, to be honest. I think with my friends back, like, I don't even know if we talked about those things.
Yeah,
Only talked
no.
about the mojo, boy,
Oh, music. Yeah, boys,
fashion,
clothes, makeup,
music. Yeah, and very, very spiritual. I think we were all, as a teenager, at least in my group of friends, like, on the quest of, like, who we are, what our purpose of life and stuff, so it was, yeah.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so that tells me a little bit about how it got started in you, because like, not everybody's into that stuff or self, just investigating one's self or their inner self, and for sure I think music and art and all those things, like, they are spiritual if you're a spiritual person, and they can be a spiritual connection because they can help you transcend, and
Mhm.
I feel like spirituality is really just transcendence. You're getting to another place. So when did you first think about being a makeup artist? Like, what was was that something that you always wanted to do, or how did your artistic nature go into to
Yeah,
makeup?
absolutely. My parents were in the industry, the fashion industry, so obviously I wanted to do the opposite of it. My real dream as a kid was to become an archaeologist. You say that in English?
Yeah,
Yeah,
archaeologist, uh-huh.
my icon was Lara Croft. I was like, she's the coolest character
I love that.
ever. But then at 8 years old, I had
Amazing.
this idea of doing a red lipstick, looking at a rose I found in a garden in Paris, and so I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll be Lara Croft, and then sometime I'll do lipstick." But I was never. That's how far it went in terms of beauty, and I never wore makeup beside putting on a red lipstick. That's it. Never foundation, no nothing. So it was never part of my thing. But I was super into painting and fashion design, and I couldn't decide. I was studying both, and I couldn't decide, should I do painting? Where is this taking me? I don't think I want to become a fashion designer. I don't think I want to become a painter full time. Where is that taking me? But that's why I think the beauty of being a student or a young person that's looking into things is just to l- follow your passion, study it, go deep into it, but then let the universe kind of guide you. Because one night with my friend, we had like, so I told you I was like a party animal at the time. We had a party that was supposed to be customized. It wasn't, but she was like, "Can you put glitter on me?" And I was like, "I never did makeup." She's like, "It's fine. It's like painting." And so I did it and realized it's like dressing up a face and painting a face. Maybe what if I did? What if I became a makeup artist without any training, without assisting anyone? So I could really keep nurturing this painting and fashion designer aspect, and we'll see where it takes me. And at least it was a little bit less scary because I kind of knew a bit of the code of the industry. And so I decided to do this way without using any network because I was 19 and I left to New York for a few months just to be able to kickstart the career without any influence whatsoever. So which was rough, but it helped me.
Well, when you say the code for our listeners who are not on the inside, when you say the code of the industry, what do you mean? I mean, I have a feeling that I mean, there's a lot of codes
Mhm.
in our industry, but for you, as you mean like getting in, how
Yeah,
you get in,
the
how you
part.
that kind of thing, or how you act and stuff, like which kind of
Yeah,
code are you
it's
talking
like
about?
the normal path will be not anymore to go to school, but at the time go to school and then assist for a very long time before you could to
Mhm.
be on your own.
A really long time.
Really
Yeah.
long time. And then at the time, makeup artists were really in a different place. I think now they are really they are important, but I don't know if they
Mhm.
were considered important that much, at least when I started. Because I remember that I was showing up on set wearing red lipstick and having my hat and feeling good to be a woman, and the French editors telling me, or the stylist telling me, "You should look more humble," you know?
Ugh,
And I was like,
I
"What
mean,
does that mean?" So I always thought that anyway, but, so it didn't matter. But,
but that's another thing I would say I love about you because, like, I felt that a lot in the industry, like, growing up, like, I was too girly, I was too normal, I was too happy. I dressed cute, I dressed up all the time, and, I mean, I was a magazine editor, so I guess maybe and I was American, so I guess that changes, but everybody was like, "No makeup, no this," like, "Don't look at me," and it's like, I always say, "Guys, we all got into this because we love dressing up and playing Barbies. Like, why are you all of a sudden acting like you're not into it? Like, if you're over it, get out of it." But when I saw you, like, embracing and, like, yes, and just the like, everything about it, I was like, "God, this is who we all wanna be. This is who we all even in the fashion industry who act like they don't care, all the girls with the no makeup and blah, blah, blah." So, anyways, I interrupted you there, but
um
it sort of feels like, to me, very aligned with your path. You know, you said you wanted to be yourself. You're wearing red lipstick, you're looking cute. You decided to it sounds like you decided to instead of going in the French way where maybe you knew people, it's like, let me go to America, let me just go to New York and be like a nobody or whatever. Sorry, I didn't mean nobody, but I mean just starting out like everybody else. Like a
No, I was a nobody and I loved it because I wanted to do it my own way. And again, like I always been very solitary, I guess. Like I love doing things on my own, and often my husband will tell me like, yeah, when I decided to do the youth video, he basically found out once the video was edited and about to be posted. He was like, you didn't even ask me for advice or help or anything. I was like, I got it. So it's
wow.
just my I think I'd like to do things in the quiet, if you can say that in English. For example, even now with my business, um, I've been advised to read books about leadership and other successful CEO and founders, and assist to summit and connect with other CEOs. And I can tell you, like, it's very complicated for me to do that. It gives me anxiety. Like I feel like I don't fit in, and I don't need to fit in. I just want to be a little bit in my bubble. That doesn't mean like I don't wanna learn from others, because I do feel very humble, and I know, like I tell my team, I'm constantly learning my job. I never been a CEO before. I'm not trying to pretend anything, but it's like I don't want noise around me. I'm gonna do it with my instinct, and I'm gonna learn from my mistake, and I have enough people around me to hear advice from, and I don't want to other frequencies. I don't want to explain. So I think that's why I went to New York as a kid. Really, I was such a kid. I had zero money. I barely spoke English, barely. And thanks to the codes, I knew that I was like, okay, if you're not assisting, then you should go reach out to model agencies, because they have new faces with like new models all the time. So maybe they need a free makeup.
Oh my god, amazing.
So that's what I did. And I
Amazing.
had the yellow pages at the time. Yes, model agency, I'll be
Oh,
like, "Hello." So I did that for 3 months, and then I came back home.
wait, is that how you got, like, a book together? You just called people and
Yeah.
you said, "I'll do makeup for, like, test shoots or something," right? And then did you get a portfolio together or something, and then you went back home and then what?
Yeah, so first of all, I had no idea how to do makeup, so I was offering my service without knowing how to
I
do
love that. You're Mojo embodied. You're the embodiment of Mojo. I'm gonna call you Mojo next time I see you.
So I remember when I had my first gig, like they were like, next models actually gave me my chance. Like, okay, I'm gonna connect you with two photographers, and they were like me. They had no idea what they were doing. And so I was like, okay, let me help out. Let's do story together. So let me think of a theme. Let me think of an idea. So that's why I think I became a storyteller instead of a makeup artist. And the makeup was how I expressed it, but I always, on every shoot, I would come and guide the whole story more than just execute a vision, because I started this way. And so when I had my first gig, I had zero products. So I went to Sephora, and then I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's very expensive. I didn't even know how to make a kit." And you didn't have like I didn't really use um internet back then. It was really new. So I went to the library to find book. Thank God for Kevin Aucoin. I could never be more grateful to have put together books that help people like me understand how to do makeup. So he had two books at the time that I read, and read again. And then there was and then I went, so this gave me guidance. Okay, foundation, then powders. Like, okay, I get it. And then when I went
Wow.
to the store, I couldn't buy any of it. Thank God I had my training into painting was to create my own paint with pigments, and I knew how to do that. And MAC at the time was selling cosmetic raw materials, like they were selling pigments. So I bought the pigment. They had mixing medium to make your own mascara, your own lipstick. So I turned my kid into a mad lab scientist kid basically, and I would create makeup on set. And that's how I basically fell into product development from such a young age, because really quickly I discovered that I was making like velvety lipstick and molten eyeshadows. And
Yeah.
I was wondering, why is nobody launching products like this? And so when I came back to
Mhm.
France, I had this very tiny book with very weird creative images with like pigments and stuff like that. Um, but I think because it was so weird, I got noticed, I guess. You know, it was very
Because
difficult.
everyone back I mean, there was so like a no makeup for so long, and I think, I don't know, it was like everyone was kind of like much of the muchness, so maybe that helped out too, and, like, no one was
Yes, to get rid
really,
of this for
I
sure.
guess it was like Stefan Murray, or I don't know, maybe
Yeah,
was doing, like,
yeah.
more, well, I don't know, I'm pronouncing his name wrong, I'm sure.
No, no, Stéphane Marais, exactly.
So, you came home and got noticed, and then did you start working there?
Yeah, I got right away, my first client was American Vogue for like the tiniest image on the page. But it's still good to say you work for American Vogue. So that
100%.
attracted more and more. And then I think I started to be noticed by, I can't remember how, I think by brands, because two very big brands, one of them was Dior, came to me and was like, we should start working together. Um, and then my
Is
real
this
luck,
after the YouTube, after you're doing YouTube, or before?
no, that was like I was 22 years old. Like I was baby.
Oh
YouTube
my gosh.
when like I was 30
Yeah.
something. And so my luck was that I had only one client that was like a personal, like not for shoots. Only one, because I didn't want to get into it, but I really liked her.
Mhm.
Her name is Patricia Gonman, and she was like the PR of the fashion industry in France. She was taking care of Vogue,
Oh, wow.
everybody. Like she was really like the pope of fashion.
Wow.
And so and she's so cool. So I was doing her makeup, and the whole time she's a very busy woman, but the whole time I was doing her makeup in like 10 minutes, because that was my way of doing makeup. She would look at me and say, one day you'll become a star. And I will be like rolling my eyes up and be like, Patricia, it's like, your crazy aunt, that your favorite crazy aunt, that
Yeah.
lives in you, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, it just be whatever. And, and she was so cute. And then she said one day, she said, I talked about you to Karine. And the fact that she thought of it, I thought I was so generous. Uh, to Karine.
Wow.
And Karine always loved knowing new talent. That was her thing,
Mhm.
still her thing. And so she right away said, oh yeah, let me meet her. But it's so funny, I was so cool. It's like I just called her office and was like, hi, I'm calling to get an appointment with Karine. And her assistant was like, who are you? Who?
Yeah, and you are?
I was like, I'm just Violette, I do makeup on her friend Patricia Gorman. I don't know if blah, blah, blah. And so she did ask Karine, and so they called me back and said, okay, they gave me an appointment, a meeting. And I remember thinking, should I show up how I am, or should I kind of like dilute myself a little bit to fit in more? I was like, no, I'm just gonna go be like I am, and then if she likes me like this, and good. If not, it's fine. And I arrived with this skirt that I borrowed from a friend. I was like a vintage Balenciaga, because obviously I had zero money to buy fashion like brands like this. Red lipstick. Really, for people maybe listening to us, that might seem like nothing, but at the time, makeup artists will really like be hiding from any glam for themselves. Like you were supposed to be like as bland as
Yeah.
you can be, as discreet as you can be. And so I remember I entered the room and she scanned me from head to toe and be like, she didn't even say hi. She was like, is that
Wow.
Balenciaga skirt? I was like, oh my gosh. Yes.
Wait, what else were you wearing? You were wearing Balenciaga skirt, what else?
I can't remember. I think I had like a marinière, which is a striped shirt and little heels or something. And she said, "Oh, you're a French Vogue girl, I see." I was like, "Oh my gosh, phew!" And then I showed her my book that again had nothing that looked like Vogue, but I think that's the magic of Karine. Like she saw something and she told me right away, "Okay, you're gonna do 5 stories for me, as test, obviously." like you're the art director because I think you're a good storyteller and I don't want your makeup to be the vision of somebody else. So I want you to be completely free.
Wow.
And so I really thought that is my biggest opportunity in my career. So I have to give everything I can. And now that I launched at Sephora, I can tell like this is really how I work for everything. If I have this great moment, if you gave me my chance, I'm just gonna give you my all. So I cast 140 new faces. I only talked to young photographers because I wanted the new generation to be seen. I was like, it's not just my moments. If I can have her eyes on other young artists, that's such an incredible opportunity. So I only talk to young photographers and I say, okay, I want to shoot without any retouching. At the time, it was like Mert and Marcus, like Ines and Vinu, like incredible studio lighting with like lots of retouch. It was such a gorgeous, glossy glam look. So it was really the opposite. And so I had
Wow.
like I can remember like 4 or 5 photographers, one young stylist, young designers out of school to create pieces for the shoot. I begged studios to let me shoot end of day in their studios, found new faces, and then I basically did a magazine where I shot like Pigments explosion to create letters, which will be the first letter of the editorial piece that goes with the picture, like really like a real
Oh my god.
magazine. And the theme was like a virgin, like Madonna's tour, that I thought was such a inspiring moment. And so I when it was printed, I was on the scooter of this graphic designer that helped me print it, and he dropped me at Vogue office. I was so nervous, and I dropped it to her assistant. She was, "You want to stay to showcase?" And I was like, "No, I'm disappearing right now.
Oh
This is all I got."
my god.
I like run away, and then she called me like an hour after, and that was the beginning of everything.
Wow. So, okay. This confidence, this passion, like, did you have a vision? Oh, I want to be this, and this is my way to get there?
No,
Or is it like, I love doing this so much? It's just like, is it more like moment by moment? I mean, a lot of people are like creative
no,
visualization or
no.
law of attraction. I really want to be this, and I can see myself, blah, blah, blah. What drove you at that point, and what gave you the confidence also to really step outside the lines and with the chance that you had, I guess, take a big risk, kind of.
So there's two things. The first one is like I told you, I was really on a quest when I was a teenager on spirituality. I studied all religion as on a high level, obviously not in depth, to try to find my religion. I like forced my parents to go to like Buddhist um how do you say sessions with like
Temple? Yeah,
yeah.
or like a,
I was
ritual
really
retreat.
looking for something. And I remember I had my stepdad that kind of raised me. I mean, he raised me, and he was a very spiritual man, and we had lots of conversation. And he was like, "What's your goal in life?" And I said, "Oh, to be happy." And he said, "I think the goal is for you to do the experience of your life, and thinking you want to be happy kind of almost put a goal into your experience that may take you away from what the real experience you should make." And I didn't totally agree with it. I understood his point, but in a way, that's why I love Friends. For we have a very strong debate culture, so nuances and paradoxes are key. You don't need to be like this or that. That the gray area is also sometimes hold something interesting. And so it's like I don't totally agree with you, but I hear what you're saying, to not project too much of a goal onto my life. And so
Mhm,
I still hold on to I want to be happy because this I'm like I want to experience being happy in this life. I
mhm,
decided,
mhm.
okay, I'm gonna limit
I get it, I
myself, right? I decide to experience happiness in this life, and then it's okay if I limit myself on doing this. But
yeah,
then the thing I did from that conversation is that I never set goals for my career or my personal life in any way. I'm gonna trust that I'm working as a team with the universe, and we'll see where it goes. Um, and on the other side, I think I was born with a gift that is having no fear at work. I do have lots of fear in my personal life, but at work, I don't. I
wow,
think
that
maybe
is
because I'm not connected to my ego that much. Like if I fail, it doesn't mean anything bad about me. If I succeed, it doesn't mean anything good about me. Like, it's very neutral. I
Wow.
explain. And so it's not even something I think about. It's just natural. And so that gave me so much mojo because I would do that for Karine and I would be nervous, of course, but my fear never, never went in the way and limited me in any capacity to do the best of things. And it's my motto. So as long as I'm doing my best and in the most authentic way, then that's how I'm gonna drive my life. So these 2
Wow.
things really helped me to keep that way. So I never
Mhm.
thought I'll be the biggest makeup artist, I'll be that. And it's funny
Yeah.
because when I talk with investors on about the brand, they're like, "Where do you see the brand in 10 years?" I'm like, "I don't know." And it's really, like, not the
Mhm.
answer they wanna hear. They wanna be like, "I wanna be the next Chanel." And I'm like, "I just wanna have this vision for the brand, and that's what I wanna do, and that's what it is."
I mean, I'm really into spirituality too. Like, I mean, I got a yoga certification from Jiva Mukti, which is like super, woo, in Bhagavad Gita, and I love Buddhism, and I mean, I've tried everything, chanting, and I love all that stuff. Which really teaches you to, not like non-attachment. So when you say I'm not attached and I'm not really connected with my ego, did you learn that as a result of studying spiritual practices, or is this something in you and then you're like, because it sounds very, you know, zen, or it sounds very spiritual, it would be like I'm not this body, I'm not this. I'm just or who you are inside is not defined by the outside. I mean, that just inside of itself is a very kind of spiritual concept.
Yeah, so I guess
Eastern
I like the
religion.
Buddhism for that, what you're talking about, but it's funny, this is where again paradox are a big part of my life. Like I connect to all of this, but I don't do yoga.
Mhm.
And the people are always surprised, what do you mean you don't do yoga? I'm like, yeah, I'm doing weight training. I did boxing. And then at the same time, like I'm gonna have like my crystals and I'm gonna be like, oh, it's the new moon in Aries. It's just I need a bit of both in my life, like the very pragmatical
Mhm.
grounding things, and at the same time, I need this a bit of magic. And so know this. I That's why I was say I was born with this superpower because I think it's kind of a superpower. Um, because I never tried to work towards it. It was just what it is. And honestly, without it, I wouldn't be here. I went into
Mhm.
very scary situations that helped me be where I am
Yeah.
today.
I remember in the magazine industry, they have lots of metrics, like I'm sure it is in business too, how many you sell of this or that, and the magazine business would be like focus groups, what colors do people want to see on the headlines, and do they want to see numbers, and do they want to see this in the focus groups, and some of the best editors, there's one called Art Cooper who was at GQ, and he's like, I always edit from the gut. Like edit from the gut. And that is what you're saying. I think essentially you're talking about a gut feeling, and there's lots of ways to explain that in spiritual terms, a ping, the source, the whatever, and I do agree with you, like, some people are born with it, some people have to study it, and I, like you, also, like, yes, I've done all that stuff, but, like, I eat burgers and fries, and, like, I'm like, I can't be a vegetarian, and, like, I'm kind of a goofball, but I also think that helps the balance, but it is kind of a paradox, like you said, being in our industry and being kind of more connected spiritually, not on sort of the material plane, but a lot of material things I like. I just don't need like a lot, which is another reason I'm really attracted to like you and your brand, and being very like focused and calculated in the way you sort of drop
Mhm.
your products and things. I mean, gosh, I could talk to you about like the spiritual stuff forever. Let's talk about your business. Like, how is it on your fourth anniversary? How do you feel like from where you've been, and is it what you want it to be? It sounds like, it sounds like you're happy and you're doing what you love. And there is another famous book from like the 1970s that says, do what you love and the money will follow. And that has to be, to me, I've been like that too. Like when I was a kid, I live near Malibu, and we used to go to these tunnels, and you make a wish, and when you go through the tunnel, you make a wish and put your finger on the roof of the car, and I always say like, "I wanna be happy, I wanna be happy, I wanna be happy," and I feel like this makes me happy being a stylist and being in the industry, so it seems like yeah. So how's business? I mean, how do you feel after 4 years? Um,
It's crazy.
High point, low point? I mean, I don't know, that's kind of a text fit question. You
Um,
don't really have to talk about this really isn't about, like, business per se. It's
right.
really about mindset. I mean, at the end of the day, it's mindset about doing something that you love, you know, doing whatever it takes to get the job done. Like, these are really common themes of people in my generation and yours, or people who really made it to the level that you did, and, it's about, like, what it takes to get there. So how do you keep going, and how do you keep creating? And, I mean, now you're in business, so it is kind of a different challenge, like you were saying.
Yeah, but I think I was really ready because I've been very lucky thanks to that like kickstart I had in industry to be able to be a little art director plus makeup artist for shoots, and then I was doing so many beauty stories and I did shows and stuff, and so I was able to express myself on a creative level like incredibly with so much trust from editors and magazine. It's been really amazing, and even photographers I collaborated with that were incredible
Wow.
partners to me. Ben Hassett was one of the one that were
Mm.
really
Oh, he's great with beauty, yeah, I remember
he's
God, he is
amazing, and
huge, like, great beauty.
he really decided to trust me when I was such a kid in industry, and he was like a god in the beauty tutorials world. For me to work with him was like such an incredible luck, and we worked together for so many years, partners in creating stories that were us. I loved working as a team with other creatives like him, so it was amazing. And but at some point, I kind of had to. I had said, you know how it cycles in the fashion industry. I kind of did my little loop, and the industry was changing so much. And I was like, I'm kind of done, I think. And I remember telling my agent, first I've stopped fashion shows. And then I was like, I think I'm just going to focus on very special editorials where I can really have an impact and create something different. And then it became less and less things I wanted to do. And then at some point,
Yeah.
I decided to do the YouTube thing. And very quickly, a set order came and I worked with them. And so I started to like change my path, and then during
Mhm.
my time with Lauder, when I saw that I could sell products, and it was such an incredible place to be to understand the industry on that in that side. That was like, okay, I think I'm ready to do it. And I was starting to see brands copying my work so much without any shame, huh? Because they will make jokes to me about like, well, yeah, we can't have you, so we're making it like you, haha. And I was like, I don't know.
You mean like your vibe? Like the vibe that you did for makeup or
Everything. Like I would take, I would do videos of me at the cafe applying product.
Oh,
Never a thing before, and then we're starting to do this and all
totally.
this thing. I mean, the list is a bit long, and so I was just like, okay, this is a kick in the butt I needed. Like I've been having people ask me to do my brand for a long time now, but I think I'm ready. So I was fully pregnant, 8 months of my first baby, and Lauder offered me a even bigger position. And I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to tell you because I didn't want them to invest in me without knowing where I was going because I am very
Mhm,
into sharing transparency. So we both invest in each other in a way that's fair to each other. And so I said, I do want to keep working with you, but in a year and a half, I think I want to start doing my brand. I've been working on product development for already a year and a half, and I'm getting somewhere. So I just wanted to be aware. And they've been incredibly supportive because I was so worried that they would tell me, "Well, you're pregnant, or about to give birth, and then you're gonna do your brand. I think we should stop right now." And they were like, "No, let's resign for another year, and then when it's done, like you go do your thing." And when I did my pop up in New York for my brand, like a few months after launch, they all came to support, and
oh
yeah,
my gosh.
that was really
Whoa.
such a. I felt like it's so chic. Anyway, so Uh, yeah, all that to say that I made a conscious decision to create this brand. That was what was necessary for me for years. I dreamed about it years, but I did in the background product development from the products I had in mind. I was like, if I cannot do my dream product, then I will just stick to
Mhm,
what I'm doing right now. It's okay. But then when I saw that
mhm,
I was actually getting
mhm.
somewhere, I was like, okay, I have to make that risk, which is hard when you're pregnant with your first baby as a freelancer. It's
I
very
mean, that's
scary.
insane. Wow, I think that's just I mean, just reflecting back on who you are as a person, who you are on the inside, and reflecting it back from some spiritual things that I listen to and read. I mean, a lot of people say, like, when you trust your gut,
Mm.
it's like if you would have been in your head, you might have said, "Oh, I can't tell them. They're gonna blah blah." But you really like when people are true to their gut, it's like the universe will mirror it back to you. It will give you goodness back. But it is so terrifying for most people. A lot of people, like you were saying, the superpower of not having any fear, not having any attachment to of course, you probably want a job and pay your bills or whatever, but it's like you really have to have this inner, confidence to be able to follow what you wanna do, and I find that time and time again on these interviews, like Cindy Crawford and stuff, where you just feel like everything was, the red carpet rolled out, and you realize these people, like, take giant risks
Yeah.
and stay true to themselves in an industry which can be so, like, samey and, in business and things like that. So what I think this is a good time to put on some beauty balm. I mean, some, what do you call what I not beauty is it called beauty balm? What's it called
No,
again?
bisous ball.
What? Bisou balm. Why did I call it? I have Batiste here. I did have it on, but it wore off. I'm just gonna like because I just feel like I need to do it in front of you. I love the way it smells. It goes on so amazingly. I don't put on a lot. Is this enough?
It's
Just a little. I mean, I don't know. I think everybody knows what this is, but it's just heaven. It smells like heaven and it looks like heaven. What are your what is your beauty routine like? Your skincare regime?
I mean, super short because 2 kids, little kids, 1,
Mhm.
Velcro baby also, one of them.
What's that? Oh, yeah, mommy, mommy, mommy. Mhm.
Yes,
Mama, mama, mama.
which I love. It's but at the same time, I'm like, I have 0 time for myself, but it's really cute when she wakes up in the morning, I take her with me in the bathroom, I sit her, this is her favorite thing, and she's gonna mimic everything I do, and she asks me questions, and she's only 2, but she's like, "Where do I put this?" I'm like, "You can put Boom Boom milk on your cheeks." She's like this,
Oh, that's
Mama," and I'm like, "Yeah, this is good." So we have a little ritual together, me and my Velcro baby. So, the morning has to
I
be
love that.
quick, quick and
Mhm.
quick, but because I'm aging, I have less time, but more needs, you know?
Mhm.
So so that's why
You don't look like it, but I understand what you mean.
so that's why I created Boom Boom Milk because, which is this guy, because, I am still but I was a mega Biologique Recherche, fan, and I'm still are.
Mhm.
And so I was and at the time I was seeing Joëlle Siocco, which was the skin goddess in France, and I was doing her products
Mhm.
and Biologique Recherche products, and I had this, like, super intense skincare, but it really helped me because I had contact dermatitis, so I cannot wear foundation. My skin is extremely sensitive.
Oh, wow.
So I had to calm it I was so inflamed. So I had to go through all that thing that made my skin better. Not only fine, but much better. And then when I talked to my chemist, so that was when I was still working with brands and I didn't know if I would do my brand. I said, I've been seeing practically, sorry for the noise, practically 98% of the skin I've touched have some sort of inflammation, acne, contact dermatitis, like skin barrier damaged. And so I'm doing this campaign. I'm really my thing is beauty, so I'm doing like very tight shot on on the face and barely retouching. I don't put foundation on, so the skin is super key for me. And I was my assistant for 10 years. We are like always trying to develop like what would be the solution that will instantly soothe, nourish, create this gorgeous, plump, juicy skin for photo shoots. And then kind of wanted to this for me. And I couldn't find anything, and I did so many mixture, and I got close, but not really. And so I talked to him, and he's Luc Jugla. He's the one who did the chemist who did the first organic certified skincare brand in France, like 20 something years ago. At the time, it was
Oh, wow.
Do Me with Caroline Vaxmuth, which is such an iconic brand for us in France. And so he said, well, why don't you send me your wish list and I'll see what I can do. And so I sent him this super long list. I was like, but I want all that in one product, and I want it to be a
Wow.
cream spray because I want the skin to immediately drink it. I want some sort of milk. And
Wow.
he was like, okay. And so we worked on it for 3 years. It was such
Wow.
a nightmare to develop that product. But we did it, and now that's like my toner, serum, moisturizer in one. It's has probiotic too, so completely changed my skin. I put it on my skin.
Wait, probiotic?
Yeah, it's like 38% of fermented birch sap, which is an incredible source of probiotic, and it really fights inflammation on a very incredible level. And so we've had results for people that are, that have psoriasis and eczema and rosacea. My Velcro baby has eczema, and so that I
Oh.
can totally heal her with this. And we cannot say heal because it's not proven to be a drug, but we have this still now from the psoriasis and eczema community, or I forgot the term exactly, that said that it's safe to use, but I've seen incredible results. So I use that in the morning. Then I have the cream, which is that's gonna lock everything in. It's this guy, it's a cream that's gonna lock
Mhm.
everything in, and it has prebiotics, so that will works with Boom Boom Milk as like your skin barrier heaven.
Wow.
And what this
Uh-huh.
cream does that's really sensational, it creates like some sort of like ice skating thing, which like all the free radicals, the bacteria, the germs cannot get into your epidermis, basically, kind of like, you know, do that. We did
Wow.
testing
Yeah.
with like we could see the results on photographs, like it's absolutely amazing. So I use this to an SPF on top. I don't use SPF every day. I know people are gonna scream it's terrible, but SPF is really effing up my skin. So
It seems like it's very, like, it just I don't
it
know, it
doesn't
feels
work for
thick.
everybody, so I'm, like, wearing hats, I'm being very careful, of course, but every time there's a sun, I'm gonna wear SPF, and then I develop a serum that heal, like, allergic reaction, which I use on me every time I have a reaction from SPF, but basically that's it, and that is so much more sustainable, first of all. It's also sustainable in the way that you can do it, it's not so much efforts, and it's 5 minutes in my bathroom and it's done, and I use it on my kids, so I do mine, I do theirs, skincare routine, and then I'm at the door, basically.
Well, and you don't have to take a lot with you when you travel,
Yes,
and
exactly.
if people can have skin that looks like yours, like, I do you get facials? Like, literally, your skin's insane. I was looking at, one of your and now that I know you don't retouch, like, it's freakier. There was, like, a Um, I don't know, you could see, like, you have no pores. I was like, "Oh my god." And I wanna try the Bizu balm. I haven't because I don't know.
Oh, the baby
Like,
milk you mean?
my s the Bizu
Baby
milk,
milk.
yeah. I mean,
You should
the
try.
Boom Boom milk.
You should really give it a try.
Yeah, I know, I'm going to be
People are like, the result, I mean, we are not advertising this product and it's our bestseller just because of word to mouth. It's truly an amazing product, and I cannot, like I said, I wear concealer, but I cannot wear foundation. That has been like this is my foundation,
yeah.
basically.
Okay. What do you have any other, like, you said you do weight training and boxing. Is that what you do for your physical
I don't do any
fitness?
more boxing because I bruise so bad that I have bruises for
Uh-huh.
weeks, and I'm like, I'm over it. But I love Thai boxing, and at some point I'm like, I want to go back to it. But I have a trainer, I do weight training, and because it just made me so much stronger, which I
Yeah,
love.
it's good for you.
I carry my
It's
kids
good
up
for
the
you. Yeah.
stairs, I carry my suitcase, like, I'm not dependent on anybody, so I love it.
Mhm. And, lots of people who work out say that helps their, like, mindset, or does that do anything for you? Because you feel like you already are pretty strong in your mindset, but do you feel like there's any correlation
I think so.
between working out and your mindset or any other
Well, first it's I always call this bucket of peace. I don't really have bucket of peace right now. And it's fine because it's not going to be like this forever. And I love taking care of my kids and I love taking care of my business. So I give energy, but I get it back because I enjoy it so much. So the fact that I have people are like,
Mhm.
what, you have a hobby? I'm like, dude, I didn't even open a book in like 7 years with like 6 years.
Wow.
I don't have
Wow.
time for any of this, but it's okay. It's just a phase in my life. It's I used to do transcendental meditation. I don't do it anymore. It's fine. It's not the end of the world. I'll go back to it when I feel it's right. Already the one pocket of peace I'm very rigid on is my training that I do 3 to 4 times a week. And that's my moments. And I hate it. Like, even today I was with my trainer, he was like, "Okay, have a great day. The hardest part of your day is done." I'm like, "Yes, that's exactly how I feel. This is the hardest
It's
part of
right.
the day."
Yeah.
But I feel so good after, so I really care about it.
I think of working out as like a moving meditation, and now that I'm listening to you talk and you used to do TM and things like that, um, do you feel like I feel this way that when you've, like, studied things, I'm like you, like, I don't need to meditate every day. If I can, I will if I get off it for a few weeks or a year, but, like, learning things and just having the awareness that you can be outside of your thoughts is, like, something that once you learn it once, I mean, do you feel like your spiritual training has kind of helped you
Oh, yes.
endure?
It's a guidance. Without even
Yeah,
thinking, without
yeah.
efforts, like, I just feel it.
Okay, I'm gonna move on to because 'cause I'm conscious of your time. What are your wardrobe staples? I do see you in shirts a lot, super French. I mean, I don't know, you just it is true, you are like the embodiment of a French I don't wanna say ingenue because I don't even know what that means in your language, but,
Yeah, a French
um
cliché, I can hear that because I laugh at myself sometimes when I'm like, I have the big, and it's not, it just, I guess we are brainwashed as kids in France, I don't know, but I do see, like, yeah, with the bangs, and I'm like, my outfits, like, yeah, flats, and
oh, cute!
then jeans.
What are those like Margiela or what are those?
No, this
No.
is, yeah, a young brand, I forgot the name of it, but basically, yes, it's like, I'm like the uniform, the French uniform, like bottom shirts, or blazer with a tank top, jeans, flats, like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
classic.
And then do you change your jewelry? I mean, I know that I feel like you change your necklaces, like, is your ear game the same always? Do you
Yeah, this
change
is
your
usually the same because I'm too lazy to remove it, and I would my
Mhm.
rings, or I never wear a bracelet except this piece. My rings that are usually connected to birth of my kids, so I wear one of
Oh,
them.
wow.
um, Necklace I change often, but yeah, I love jewelry.
You have a favorite shirt brand, like, of your shirts that you wear?
For shirts, no, I love, this super iconic French brand. Can't remember what it is. I have so many of them. Uh, come back to me. I love, Homegirls. They have great,
Yeah, they do. Very cute. Um, and then what finally, I mean, I could talk to you forever, as I said, but what is now that I've been talking to you, I realize you don't really plan what's next, but you are a business person. Like, what is next for you? Is it just continuing on? Is it, how do you see Violette, continuing? I will just say, like, not on, a product level or a business level. I do love when you share your voice and your feelings. I would love to see more of that. Is that something that you get a lot of feedback on? Is that something that you'd want to pursue or develop?
yeah, so this newsletter that I write, I used to do it every Sunday. Now I can't. We're just in a very key growth phase and of the company, and I need to be really focused on, like I was saying, I'm here to build a new generation of maison, and which is really based on craftsmanship and authenticity and savoir-faire. And so um we have such a moment right now where a lot of possibility opportunities open, which is amazing, but this is where I'm very, like, grounded, and we say in French, like, a cold head, like I'm not getting, excited, motivated by
Mhm.
excitement. And, like, I know I want to
Yeah.
be with these partners. I think this distributor is amazing. Oh my gosh, I dream of opening a flagship and all that. But I want to build a sustainable business. I want to be profitable. I'm here to stay. I want to anchor the whole company into something really healthy and solid. So that requires a lot of focus. And so it's hard for me to focus on writing all these things for now. But again, like,
Mhm.
when I have an inspiration, I'll do it. And I say, I'm sorry, I've been quiet for some time. I do have a lot of feedback that people want to see more of that, which shows how people need to connect emotionally with a brand, which makes me connect with them because I have many response from the email I send and I read them all. I don't
Mhm.
respond because if I do 1%, I don't want to pick
Yeah.
and choose. but I'm so appreciative. It's my favorite moment to read the response. So it's my way of connecting with the community, which I love. So I do want to do more of that, but right now I'm focusing really on like how do we grow and create this very healthy business with a strong meaning. And Sephora was such a big step for me on how do I do more, but I have my cabinet of curiosity on my gondola. How can I express the brand in its more authentic self? On a much higher scale. So all these things required like 100% of my focus. And now we have so much
Mhm.
innovation coming out this year with products. So these two. So yeah, I'm trying to not overwhelm myself. To be like, it's okay. Everything is a phase. I'll get back to it.
Well, I feel like, I mean, your followers will follow you no matter what. It's not just YouTube, it's everything. And I think that when you do write a letter, even if it doesn't, not every week, like you can tell, we can tell that it's meaningful to you. I'm not saying that you have to, it also is a struggle, like to connect with people. I don't know. I think it's a lot to keep up with every week or things like that. But I do feel like you have really developed, like, it's so soulful, Violette, and it really does come out. I can only tell you. And you don't need my advice, but it seems like you're doing just fine. Just, I can imagine it must be difficult to just really like stay on your track when there is so much around. But yeah, it's such a strong brand identity, and I'm so grateful for these that ever, like, if there's one thing that you can have in your pocket, it's and I want to try the one, is it like Choupette? No, what's the one that's
That's
really
that's such a cute
the
name, actually. I should do
beige. I don't know.
that.
No, it was like something beige. What, it was like the neutral, the nude one.
Calisson?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I
Calisson,
want to try
I
that
don't
one.
know when your podcast is going live because we've been sold out for months and people are upset at it. And I'm like, it's coming back soon, I promise. The wait list is
Okay, so everyone can,
insane long. I mean,
okay.
I'm so glad because I don't do beige usually, and that's the one beige I was like, I'm going to really make
It's so
how
good.
I love it. So you don't look like washed out or sick. And so I'm so happy that people see that color. But I'm like, okay, it has to come back in stock ASAP soon.
Wow, okay, alright, I will sign up for that because I signed up for the Batiste, and I also have the rose latte, so, I'm gonna try that right now for a goodbye. Violette, I just wanna, like, is there anything else that you wanna say? You've been so generous with your time, and I really appreciate it. I know how it is, and, I want you to tell Stephen I say hi. Congratulations on your kids. I really appreciate it, and, I'm just so grateful that you did this. It's so nice to see, to know a little bit about you as a person and how you have done this and in such a soulful way. It makes perfect sense that you have a very strong sense of self. It really comes through. It's very authentic, which is like the word of the new year, but it really comes through, and you're so
I'm very grateful
sweet.
that you gave me that space to talk about things that are a bit more on the deeper side of how do things. So that was really nice to be able to do that. So thank you so much for that.
Well, I appreciate it. It shows. I knew that there was like sometimes you just get a feeling and you're like, that person has something that I can learn from. And I think we can do stuff to the outside, but at the end of the day, it's our inner life that does drive us, and to a certain extent, I guess, makes us happy. So I'm happy for everything to make me happy that you can get from Violette FR. But yeah, I'm so glad that you shared all this, and I really appreciate it. And I thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Amazing. It was so nice, Tracy. I really appreciate it. And Stephen told me such wonderful things about you. So I had to do it.
Oh my god, I really appreciate that, and he said so many things. I mean, I try not to fangirl, but I'm like, I am freaking out that I'm talking to you, like, I can watch you talk for hours. I tell my husband, I go, "This is what I'm talking about you, like, can you just," I could just watch her for hours,
Oh
but,
my God.
yeah, I really appreciate it too, because obviously I'm just, like, one person, so I'm glad Steven gave, like, the heads up, like, she's a normal girl, so,
No,
um
yeah, he has only, and he never puts pressure on me or anything. And, I don't think I'm better than anyone. And I think your career is very impressive, and you have a very strong knowledge in the industry, but also now I see this very spiritual, you know, mindset that makes me like, now I understand why Stu was like, oh, you should talk to her, you guys will connect. So
If you're ever in well, I don't know. Where are you now? Are you guys in New York?
we're in New York right now. I mean, we're leaving tomorrow after tomorrow, but we are around. So let us know. We are around.
Yeah, we should get together. I love how your office looks like French. It looks like the Maurice in there.
I put molding so I could feel like home.
It totally. All right, Violette, thank you so much.
Thank
Tell Steven to say
you.
hi, and I'll speak to you soon. Hopefully, I'll
Okay.
meet you in person.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
ciao.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Merci beaucoup.